Welcome to another episode of Baldur's Gate 3. This is episode 21. Last time we started Act 2 and we made it into the Shadow Curse Lands, which is currently where we are, as you can see. Very dark place, cursed by shadow. Makes sense. Today we'll be heading off into the inn to meet everyone, run around town and do a lot of talking. There's probably not going to be a lot of combat in this video. It's probably just going to be like when we went to the Grove. That means that we get a little reprieve before we head out into the shadows for real. Let's head down there. See what we can see.
This place is protected. Must be the refuge the Harpers spoke of.
Probably.
For a warm bed and full stomach, look no further. Welcome to the Last Light Inn.
Mind if I do?
No shadows here. Something must be keeping it at bay.
Everyone wants to talk about the shadows not being here.
You there! Step forward and keep your hands off your weapons.
Easy! She's with me.
Come.
Okay.
Jaheira!
That's not the best welcome I've ever received.
Hello.
Could you at least explain to me why you're doing this?
Absolutely. This is why we're here, you see. It is a curious creature that hides all manner of secrets. But if there's one thing that we know, it's that it knows its own kind.
Got me there.
You should never have come here, true soul.
Surely the Harpers that we saved will save us.
Stop! What's you doing? She's the one who saved us!
Or Mol.
She's the one who protected the Emerald Grove.
Yup. Didn't leave a goblin standing. Not so bad to hang around with either. Saved two of my friends. One from a harpy, and one from a mad druid with a snake. Didn't make a fuss of our thieving either. I'd pretty much trust her with my life.
A true soul with a mind of her own? How is that possible?
Thank you. Because of this artifact. I think I can trust her.
What in the hells is that thing?
Well, so far it's been a lifesaver.
More or less. Congratulations. You've earned yourself the benefit of the doubt. Hear me, Harpers. All clear. At ease. I'll not pretend to understand what that artifact is. But I'm old and wise enough to recognize a sliver of hope when it crawls out of the dark. Tell me, why have you come here?
I would like to get this parasite out of my head, and Moonrise Towers is my only lead.
Then our interests align. We must all cure ourselves of the entire cult of the Absolute. There's food in the inn over there. Beds too if you require rest. Aloe oil in the cupboard in case the vines gave you a rash. Settle in. Then come join me for a drink. You may just be the godsend we've been praying for.
skulking around here, right?
He might be.
Oh my god, soldier. That's Jaheira. The Jaheira.
You know her?
Not personally. I mean, I wish. She's an absolute legend. Years ago, over a century, Jaheira was part of a group that saved Baldur's Gate from Saravok, a Baalsport trying to plunge the city into war. My mum used to tell us stories about them. The legends who protected the city from evil. She said Jaheira was a powerful druid. Adamant. Tough. I've told myself those stories 1,000 times since. I never thought I'd meet Jaheira. She's a hero, and I was always... some outer city kid. Can't believe she wants to talk to us about working together. What a day!
Stock up while you can. I only hope I've brought enough to see us through.
Anything I could take off your hands at no cost to myself?
Cheeky. But, since you're asking...
Thank you. I'm pretty sure you can, like, get a supply pack for, you know, as much as she has. Like, all these supply packs just come from her stock. Got some really good items too. The Amulet of the Harpers is amazing. Cloak of Protection. I didn't actually buy this on my first playthrough because I made an error with this place really early after getting here. I was like, oh, I should buy it. It's the first cloak I've seen in this game, and then I didn't. I will not be making the same error this time, but I'll leave it here for now. We will buy it though. There's also this, which probably use on my character. Good chest for Karlach, and a really good staff. We'll do shopping with Wyll for that.
Karlach? I thought you'd be in the city by now. We were ambushed by cultists. Half of us were captured, the other half ran here.
Off the anvil into the forge. We'll find them. Hopefully.
Before you run off into the belly of the beast, there's something I need to tell you. Well, two things. Good news and bad news.
Which do you want to hear first, Karlach?
The good news, obviously.
Obviously.
I only need one more piece of infernal iron to craft an insulating chamber that can make it possible for Karlach to...
Touch people!
Exactly!
Oh my god. It's really happening. It's been so long. We've got the iron. Let's do this thing!
Hang on! I think you'll want to hear the bad news too.
Yeah, sure. But first, fix me. Please.
Give him the iron. Let's make this happen.
Well, all right. This shouldn't take long.
Get her fixed up.
Same as last time. You'll need to install it yourself. This should do the trick.
There. So did it work?
Only one way to find out.
How about a hug?
Thank you.
I'm not on fire. I think it worked.
I can't believe it. Thank you, Dammon. Thank you so much.
It's the least I could do. Before you go, there's something I need to tell you. That engine of yours, it's contained for the moment, but it's just too hot to exist here in the material plane indefinitely. I know you know that, but the thing is, there's a cure. I wasn't making any headway with the mechanics, none at all. The environment here is just too cold to sustain metals like the ones inside you. You have to return to Avernus. For good. Or this thing is going to burn you up from the inside out. And sooner than you think.
The minute I set foot back in Avernus, Zarya will force me back into service. I'm not doing her bidding again. I'd rather die.
I get that, but don't rule it out. The world just might be better with you in it. Even in Avernus. I won't stop trying to figure out a cure, but... at this point, I think we all have to face the inevitable.
First things first, Karlach. Let's celebrate you having your touch back.
Right? All this doom and gloom. I have something far more exciting on my mind than this bloody tin box. Thanks, Dammon. Really. You've given me more than I could ever repay.
It's been my pleasure. Good luck. Both of you. Look after yourself, all right?
This is the best day. The best day!
I'm happy for you, Karlach.
I'm so happy for me too. Now I just need to find someone to cuddle up to tonight, and I'll be the happiest woman on the Sword Coast.
Anyone in mind?
I'm not sure. Depends who's got me in mind. Withers was giving me the old eye the other night. Then again, maybe it was just an old eye.
Maybe. Not talk about what Dammon said right now.
I know well the pain of seeing your life's hourglass running empty. Grasping at any means of slowing the grains as they slip inexorably through your fingers. Karlach's fate may be ordained, but her actions are not. She will make each breath count. We can be sure of that.
Poor Karlach. She can finally seek out the touch of another, only to be told she might not have much time left.
Glad you and Karlach are all right. Well, as all right as any of us. A makeshift Harper's Fire might not be where I hope to set up shop. But maybe I've got something you can use anyway. And if you find any interesting materials in need of working, I'm happy to help.
What do you mean by interesting materials?
I hesitated to mention this back in the Druid's Grove, for obvious reasons. But no one has earned my trust, if not you. When Elturel was dragged into Avernus, I was drafted into a devil's smithy. It should have been awful. Infernal metal is like a wild horse. Powerful, exuberant. It'll kill you if you lack technique. I can sense some. Smell it almost. Somewhere in the area. Underground, maybe. Out there in the shadows. If you find it, bring it to me. I'll make something incredible.
Sounds like you had an interesting time in the Hells.
Some of us had it easier than others. The baker, the schoolmaster. When Elturel was swallowed up, they could do little but survive. As for me, I won't say I enjoyed my time there. But it was certainly instructional.
I found a piece of metal in a place called Grimford. What do you make of it?
Absolutely. Rare to get your hands on this stuff. Well done keeping it to hand.
It's like I knew the future.
There. Be careful who sees you using that. Might draw the wrong sort of eyes.
Thanks, Dammon. So after he crafted us some items, we now have the flawed Helldusk armor, which is alright. It's not as good as the adamantine splint that we created at the Grimforge, but it looks very cool. We have the Helldusk helmet, gloves, and 3 explosives. And I'm also over encumbered, but that's okay. The Darkfire shortbow is probably the only item that I'd want from Dammon. Definitely lower on the priority than the items that the other vendor has. Also saw the strange ox as I came in.
No, still incapable.
Incapable of what?
Not for you to know.
You're the ox I met back in the grove. You were very hungry then, I saved you all. Now you have food. I don't know. Seems like a weird thing to say.
Well, come close. Your mind to mine.
Ugh. What in the...
Are you satisfied?
What in the hells was that?
My little secret.
What are you, really?
Keep quiet, and you won't have to find out.
Is that a freak?
That's up to you.
Well, I won't tell anyone because that's weird.
Good little hero.
Alright, before we go and talk to more people here, let's grab Wyll and do another round of shopping with Wyll. You know, he's like the only companion we have that actually has any charisma.
How beautiful it must be to know you can hold a hand, caress a cheek after going so long without. We'll get Karlach fixed up, right? There's always a way. There has to be.
Hopefully, Wyll.
I'm up for the challenge. You've just got to make a little space.
Alright, and with that round of shopping with Wyll,
soldier.
we now have
Looks like your troops all trooped up.
about
You'll need to send
200
some
gold
excellent-
left. But it's okay, we've got some new gear, so completely fine. I bought this hat just in case I have a monk in the future. This is a pretty big upgrade for my character because it adds the full dexterity modifier to the armor class. So I get +3 armor. Yeah, it looks worse, I would say, but +3 armor is nice to have. We're giving Shadowheart the Cloak of Protection. You can utilize it for now. I don't know if we'll put it on anyone else at any point, but... And we're also going to give her the Amulet of Harpers. And Karlach gets a new chest, which increases her strength by 2 to a maximum of 20. Which means the next time we level, we could get something like Athlete. Because we only need to increase our strength by 1 to have 20. I think the best thing about Karlach now with this new chest, though, is the weight that she can carry. Because bull strength increases the carrying capacity doubly. So she can carry a lot of stuff now, which means we can just give her everything. She's our pack beast. Alright, now that we got that shopping with Wyll out of the way and all of our upgrades, some really good upgrades. Obviously, when you come into Act 2, you know, the gear's going to be a lot better, so it makes sense.
I wish we'd gear up and head.
Let's head into the inn. See who's in here.
Is that Darkmoor the Wicked? I don't believe it.
There's a big beer.
His territory ran from the Wood of Sharp Teeth to Cloakwood. It took half an army to drive him out. How did he end up here?
Hello, Mattis. I heard you screaming.
Welcome to our humble... Wait, are you Karlach? A lot of us were in Avernus. We saw you fighting. You were so good.
Well, yeah, I guess I was. I mean, you should avoid fighting for devils if you can. But if you can't, it helps to have a good right hook.
I saw you lay out a Moor demon in 2 hits. Bam! Bam! We were all like, whoa! How'd you learn to fight like that?
Had to. Life didn't pull any punches. It was up to me to learn to take a hit and deal one back.
I've been tossed around a lot too. I want to learn how to fight back too.
From the look of things, you've got your wits about you. A clever mind and a bit of style will take you a long way. Fight with those, and you may find you never need to use your fists at all.
In that case, want to buy a lucky ring I found?
Ha! Nice try, Shorty. Keep it up, though, and you'll be scamming with the greats in no time.
Kid really looks up to you. It's nice to see.
It is, isn't it? Hope he makes it out of this mess with his wits in one piece. I'd like to see him set up in a proper home in the city. Every kid deserves that.
Would be nice to see.
Check it out. We've gone legitimate, and Mol put me in charge. What do you need?
You got any stock for an extra special customer like me?
I'm not supposed to mention it to anyone, but I do have something pretty special in stock.
A key?
Hmm.
What does it look like? What does it open? What treasures await behind its lock? That's for one lucky buyer to find out. Mol gave it to me and said I shouldn't let it go to just any old jackaday.
Mol said I could have it. Didn't, but she did.
No, she didn't.
I literally rolled a critical success. The game should just be like, you can have everything. Honestly, I wish critical successes and failures meant more in this game, because, you know, if you're playing D&D in real life, they'd be like, yes, have my whole stock. Look, give it to me now or I'll steal it later.
Fine.
That's for looking up to Karlach.
Don't be shy. Have a gander at the finest stock.
Hour-shaped key.
What can I get you?
I haven't seen a happy face in a while.
I'm alive, ain't I? What's not to like?
That's good, that's good.
Don't wander far. We need to talk.
We will talk when we talk, Jaheira.
Thought you'd be 10 yards tall the way Zevlor spoke of you. Ceres, Scout. Seems we missed one another at the Grove, but the others told me how you helped us. A pity. You pulled them from one death trap, only for me to land them in this one.
What happened? Where is Zevlor?
Gone. And more than half the others with him. We were ambushed, out in the cursed lands. Cultists of this absolute. Zevlor froze, begged us to surrender. But they were toying with us, making examples. And we'd had enough of taking it. Those of us who cut free just kept running till we found this place. The others... maybe the cult got them. Maybe the curse.
And what are you doing out here to begin with? You were bound for Baldur's Gate, right?
This army of the Absolute is growing and flowing towards Moonrise. There's worse than goblins on the roads now. I thought we might pass unnoticed along the fringes of this place. Escape the owlbear by hiding in its shadow, so to speak. You can see exactly how well that went.
Well, don't lose hope yet. The others might still be alive.
Zevlor had hope. It didn't save him. A little sense will serve us better, I think. But... thanks. It was sweet of you to try.
You can have hope and sense. You know, you don't need to lose one or the other to have the other. Alfira.
You're all right. Thank goodness. I was worried they'd got you too.
How about you? How are you holding up?
Honestly, terribly. I still can't believe it. The cultists. The screams. Roland, of all people, saved us. He said he stayed in the Grove because of you. And I'm damn glad of it. Without him, well, none of us would be here.
Roland? The apprentice wizard?
Yes. He shielded me and the kids, while his brother and sister rushed the cultists. Cal and Leah were dragged away, along with the others. Roland isn't taking it so well. None of us are, to be honest. How do you do it? How do you keep going?
They're really playing with that door in the background, aren't they? Well, danger is my life. There is no greater thrill for me than the hunt.
You're made of sterner stuff than me, then. You've done so much for us already. But I have to ask. The others might still be out there. If they're not dead, they're in Moonrise. And gods have mercy on anyone in that hell's pit.
I'll find them if I can.
Thank you. If anyone can manage it, you can. Just be careful up there, all right? I can't handle anyone else dying.
There's another bottle of Arabellan Dry back there. Put it on the bar, then piss off and leave me alone.
Jaheira said we should serve drinks, but that we shouldn't serve drunks.
Jaheira didn't save your ragged little tail from the cultists. I did.
Alfira told me you're the reason the kids escaped.
Cute. Maybe she'll write a ballad about me. She can leave out the part where my brother and sister were dragged away screaming while I was saving the orphans. If you hadn't filled their heads with all that self-righteous heroic crap at the Grove, none of this would have happened.
And do you know where they are?
Dead for all I know. Or in the cult's tower with the others who were taken.
Well, if they're alive, I'll rescue them.
They're my responsibility.
Like how he keeps turning around.
You go save the world. Or your own arse. Or whatever it is you do. I'll fix this.
I tried telling Mr. Roland that he'd had enough too. He didn't like it then either.
If this is about Roland, go away.
Ignore Roland, he's just a grump.
He called me a ragged little devil.
Next time, call him one back.
I will too. Anyway, it's his loss.
What do you mean, his loss?
I found this book. Old, dusty, full of strange lettering. Pretty sure it's magic. I was gonna give it to Roland so he could learn new spells, you know? Beats drinking till he forgets the ones he knows.
Can I have it?
It's for Roland.
But do you really want to give it to him after how he acted?
Guess you can have it then. I don't care.
Thanks.
Anyway, I'm sick of talking. You can go now. Bye-bye.
Bye. The Way of the Wanderer. See what that's all about. Oh, hello, Raphael.
Your move, Mol.
You trapped me. I didn't even want to take this one.
Kalimshan rules, dear. The first piece touched is the first piece moved.
That's garbage. No matter where the night goes, I'm gonna lose it.
Then make the sacrifice useful. Guard your Mistra, or come for my Cyric.
What's going on here?
Look who made it. For once, I saved your butt out there, didn't I? We're square now, Chief. Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
Always laid a fine trap for you, Mol. It looks to me like his Cyric could be dethroned.
How about we be roguish? Oh, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
How's that for Kalimshan rules?
Brava. Lovely work. I see I was right to make you the offer I did. You will consider it, won't you?
Mol and I would make a great team.
What a lovely specimen she is. A blushing apple begging to be plucked.
Weird.
Please let me smack this creep.
After
she
me.
cheated, of course, but that's half her charm.
And why are you here? To play games?
To play the game. The vast lance board of souls. But don't you worry about Mol. It goes without saying she still has the unconditional freedom to choose the only option she has left. Besides, I do enjoy being in this neighborhood again. It has such a rich history of abject tragedy. And tragedy, my friend, well, there's my bread and bloody butter.
So, what is this region's history of tragedy?
Why spoil it? It's all out there, waiting to be discovered. You never know what you might find if you just dig a little deeper.
Well, stay away from Mol, alright?
She won. She has a taste for it now. She'll be the one who comes to me. But enough about my lesser pursuits. Why bother with trifles when I'm in the illustrious presence of my very favorite client? Tell me, Oh, apple of my eye, how have you been? You don't have any gills to get green around yet, but you do look a little worse for wear in this light.
You know, I've never been better, Raphael.
Splendid. And yet, I have this picture in my head of you tossing and turning in the middle of the night, thinking strange things, dreaming strange dreams. And there's this little voice inside of you asking, is this my will, or is it the worms? But you have no answer, and no way of knowing. The good thing is, though, there's only one little voice you really should listen to. Mine. See you soon.
See you soon. He was being a bit creepy today, wasn't he?
Ah, you found your way. Good.
And what are you doing here?
I thought I'd scout ahead, check for any nasty surprises, of which I found a great deal.
And what did you find?
Shades, death, harpers, flaming fist, and this, of course, and the makings of an alchemist's workbench. Ingredients, too. There's a recipe I'm trying to replicate. Something that might help you. That is, if you're still going to help Wulbren and the others.
I will try.
In that case, you'll be very pleased to learn what I have in store for you. A new type of smoke powder. All the bang and boom of the original, but with an extra surprise. I call it the Brilliant Retort. You'll need it if you're going to survive this cursed place. You'll need it if you're going to get into Moonrise Towers and help the Deep Gnomes taken prisoner there. You'll need it if you're going to save Wulbren.
I love how he says you'll need it so much, but then he doesn't actually give it to you until after you save him. It's like, man, you hyped me up for this amazing item that I'll need, and then you don't even give it to me. I thought that was your mission.
Let's call a thing a thing. A deep gnome won't get far into the Absolute's orgy of evil. We already learned that in the Underdark with those sadistic Dwergar, didn't we? It's doubly true in this place. You, on the other hand, have proven resourceful in such infiltrations. I'll do my part according to my talents. And you, I hope, will do yours. The Brilliant Retort will aid you. Thus, I will make it.
I like the name. What's it do?
Let's not ruin the surprise. You do whatever it is you do. Some of us are counting on you.
Hiss! I say hiss!
Your years of hunting and tracking have taught you to recognize a territorial animal when you see it.
I do not seek your territory, noble beast. Only a few moments of your time.
I'll allow it.
Quite the specimen you are. How did you come to this place?
I slinked, of course.
You seem like someone who knows what he's about. Heard anything interesting around here?
Good of you to notice. For my part, I have noticed the cleric is a liar. She promised me a bit of milk. Do you see any milk, do you? Nor do I. Disgraceful.
That is disgraceful.
You've had enough. Now go. Quickly. Yes.
I shall leave.
He still won't speak. Just keeps going with the bloody song.
Nothing of use on his person.
His original writ of duty, signed by Eltan himself. Fella must be one of the very first Flaming Fist.
He must know something. Let's not give up on him yet.
Hello, Florrick.
We believe the cultists have taken Duke Ravengard to Moonrise Towers. I don't suppose you've found a way in.
Not yet.
I trust you will do everything you can to free the Duke. But in case you don't find a way, I'll be heading to Baldur's Gate to seek reinforcements. The Council sent a carrier pigeon with news that the city has been dealing with absolutist attacks. The Steel Watch is holding strong. I'll request that Lord Gortash send some of them to aid in the fight against Moonrise. The curse won't harm them.
Holy shit. That's my old boss. The guy who sold me to Zariel.
You know the name Gortash, a councillor with considerable influence on Baldurian industry and politics. But he is no lord.
Lord Gortash? I thought he was no more than a councillor.
Lord Gortash is the man responsible for the creation of the Steel Watch. It's no wonder he earned the title. The Steel Watch are the future of warfare. Gondian automatons that can be sent into battle without risking any lives, except those of our enemies. Lord Gortash had only completed work on the prototypes before Ravengard and I left for Elturel, but even they were formidable. With the Steel Watch at our backs, we can storm the tower whatever Ketheric throws at us, I'm sure of it. I'll do my best, but there's every chance I'll fall to the curse or the cult before I reach the city. Don't count on me and assume no aid is coming. Work with Jaheira. That Harper's mind is as sharp as her blade. Follow her guidance.
All right.
Farewell. We'll meet again, God's willing.
Good luck, Florrick.
So Gortash is a lord now. I'd like to clap eyes on this steel watch of his. You already know the story. I was Gortash's bodyguard, loyal as they come, when he made the deal with Zariel. She got a test subject for her infernal engine. I never found out what he got. This is the kind of man who gets a title. Authority. Makes me sick.
Me too. A man like that has no place in power.
No. But they always seem to get it, don't they?
Flame color. That's your name, isn't it? Art color? I'm Fistula.
Nathaniel and me climbing up a tree.
We need you, sir. One of our own's been taken, a Grand Duke. You might know something that could help us bring him back. We found him out in the shadows, just wandering. Nothing survives out there for long. Don't know how he made it, or where he came from.
This is no physical ailment. It is a spiritual malaise. The man's mind has been gripped by the Shadowfell, yet it has not broken.
I've heard the name Faniel from a friend of mine, Halsin.
Really? Could you bring him here? You'd be glad of the help, wouldn't you, sir?
Can he hear you?
You hear me, don't you, sir? You might not be able to answer, but you hear me.
And what's wrong with him?
A century locked inside a Sharan curse will do things to a man. But you're not alone, sir. We're here with you. And I'm sure you've got relations, maybe some long-lived friends even who want to be seeing you.
And what about the song? Have you heard it before?
No, not till I met Art anyway. It seems to be all he remembers.
Did you already check his personal effects?
This was in his pocket. He doesn't seem to have any reaction to it now, but he held on to it for 100 years anyway.
I'll see what I can discover.
Thank you.
There seems to be some kind of document attributed to this gentleman's pantaloons.
Thank you, Gale.
Healing. Wonder what he found.
House of Healing. Alright, so we have to talk to Halsin now that we met that guy, but let's talk to Jaheira first. She's been patiently waiting for us as we've made the rounds.
Have a gander at the
Please.
finest.
Be welcome. Have a drink.
To your very good health.
You'll have to pardon my friend Karlach. She's very excited to meet you.
Yeah. I mean, it's an honor, milady.
I will gladly drink to your health as well, Karlach.
Do some insight check. Didn't really need guidance, but I have a habit of pressing it even when I don't need it. You know, got a persuasion of 40, still press it.
She is anxious for you to drink the wine first, and it's an anxiety you recognize. Not every knave prefers a blade in the ribs or arrow in the back. Some prefer poison.
Let's have a sniff.
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jaheira smiles at you knowingly.
It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering.
I prefer using Vinian's brief for interrogations. Doesn't carry a scent.
No, but it does leave the subject paralyzed. Whatever comes after, I would have you standing on your own 2 feet.
I'll drink the wine.
Bottoms up. Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it?
See, it's interesting because we're not actually using the parasite's powers. We've eaten 0 parasites, but let's see if we can try to deny it has any influence over us. It definitely has no influence over us.
Good. I will take your word for it. And hold you to it, too. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago.
And who is he?
General Ketheric Thorm. Remember that name. He's the leader of the Absolutists. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village. Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried. But he's returned. Not only does General Ketheric Thorm live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible. We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope.
And what do you have in mind?
Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Ketheric is without his shield, the sword, together we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight.
Seems like I'll be doing most of the heavy lifting.
You're the only one who can get inside the towers. You were born for this mission. Or made for it, rather. Besides, you need this. You need to heal yourself of your infection. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Ketheric's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at Moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet.
Okay. As long as it's not poisoned. And how do I reach him? The towers are surrounded by shadows.
You're not our only secret weapon. Isobel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness.
Is she the liar?
She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely.
We're not going to go and see Isabel for a few episodes yet. Because there's a lot more stuff I want to do before we even talk to her. When I first arrived here, when I first played this game, I went and talked to her immediately and was not prepared for what is to come. So, yeah, my first playthrough, I think I lost a lot of content here talking to her. Let's go tell Halsin about this flaming fist. Wyll's still walking back from his shopping. He also needs to talk to us, apparently.
A blushing apple begging to be plucked?
Yeah, a bit weird.
Raphael's angling for the girl's soul.
She'll make the right decision in the end, you'll see.
I think she will. If not, well, you've seen what happens when a bound soul reaches for freedom. I can't imagine what cruel penance Mol would pay if she were ever to resist that fell bastard.
And the cultists might have taken your father to Moonrise Tower.
Then we know our mission. All roads converge at Moonrise.
What do you think they want with your father?
They want violence, they want control, they want Baldur's Gate. Who better than Grand Duke Ravengard to surrender it? Who better than the commander of the Flaming Fist to dismantle its defenses? They will infect him, and the city's guardian will become its ruin, unless we put a stop to it.
And we head to Moonrise.
We can't and we won't. The shadows be damned.
That response did not line up with what I said.
You wish to speak?
There's a flaming fist at last light. The curse has left him insensible, but he's muttering about a boy called Faniel.
He is? Then I must see him. Insensible or not, he knows something. I will go to see him at once. Join me when you can.
Faniel and me are... climbing up a tree.
It's true then. He's met Thaniel. There's no other way he'd know that name. This is just what we needed. Well done. We need to wake him. He must know something about where to find Thaniel.
Any ideas?
If he was able to escape the Shadowfell, then it mustn't have managed to consume his spirit. Well, not all of it anyway. We need to unlock whatever's left of him, inside his head. There must be something to trigger him. A word, a memory, an item. We just need to find it.
I'll see what I can do.
I don't deserve you, my friend.
Alright, we know we have to go to the House of Healing for his quest. So we'll get there eventually.
Seen everything.
Let's go see if we can find the one last tiefling that I kind of want to talk to. And then after that, I'll probably long rest and wrap up this episode.
I need a quick word.
Please, I just want to be alone.
I remember you. Bex, right? Where's your man?
Gone. Cultists. It was so dark. I didn't realize until the children started screaming. They rounded us up. Cut us up. Said they were taking whoever could still walk to Moonrise Towers. I managed to get away. But my love, Dennis. Martin Dor, Roshan.
How did you manage to get away?
I've always been good at running. Unlike Dennis, I didn't realize one day our lives would depend on it. I just wish I could have said goodbye.
Well, Dennis could still be alive, so don't give up on him yet.
Do you really think so? By the gods, I hope you're right. I wish I hadn't let go of him.
I'll do my best to find him.
It's hard to imagine him making it after everything that happened. But if you find him, it would mean the world to me.
Can't let her just stand here crying without some form of hope, you know? So we have the quest to go speak to Isabel, but we're not going to do that for a while. Sure anyone who's played this game understands why. Oh, hello.
Playtime's over, pet.
Ah, I love this time of year. The dickheads start popping up wherever you look.
What do you want, Mizora?
Drop the attitude and perk up your ears. You've got a new mission. Absolute's cult has gone and grabbed one of Zariel's assets. A devil. and a powerful one at that. They're locked up in the cult's fortress, Moonrise Towers, and you're getting him out.
If this devil is so powerful, how did they manage to get captured?
Well, your playmate's wasting precious time. Let's see about getting her priorities fixed. Clause Z, Section 13. Should promised soul refuse obeyance or neglect duty, the pact holder shall cast the promised into Avernus as a lemure. I'll make it simple. Wyll fails or refuses, and he turns to a thick blob of stink flesh and sinks to Avernus.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great.
Be a good boy and play fetch, pup, or you'll spend an eternity sizzling in the hells.
Mizora's words may be flippant, but they are tinged with desperation. She cannot afford for Wyll to fail this mission. This may be your best chance to negotiate Wyll out of his pact.
We'll rescue your asset on one condition.
Oh, and what condition is that?
Your mind links with Wyll's, drawn in by his increasing panic.
What are you doing?
Trust me, Wyll.
Wyll relaxes, and your connection fades.
We'll rescue this asset if you release Wyll from his pact.
Interesting. Now, why should I go letting my favorite pet off his leash?
See if we can get any history for our low intelligence. We can.
You recall an old incantation from a children's story, said to void a devil's contract. Abi diabole et nunquam redi.
Whatever that means.
I've never seen such a fearless display of sheer idiocy. Bravo! Fine. I'll play your game. But I amend the pact once the mission's done, not before. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soul bearer's fulfillment of related obligation.
Of course.
Now, to Moonrise, pet. And do mind the shadows. They've been especially hungry.
God damn it! Why did it have to be Mizora? Why did it have to be Zariel? We're supposed to risk our necks to get one of her assets? What if it's a runaway like me? Or something far worse?
If we don't help her, Mizora will turn Wyll into a lemure. Could you live with that?
Look, Wyll's happiness is my happiness. I'd sooner see myself a lemure than him. But it's a bad idea to play games with the devil. You never win. Not ever.
You know, I feel a connection between us. Like we're two souls walking the same path.
How so?
You might be a little naive in the ways of the world, but I see promise in you. Ambition.
I thought you hated me.
Such a strong word. We have our differences, but we don't have to, do we? I just worry that we're not considering all our options when it comes to our uninvited guests. How many people are infected with them, do you think? Hundreds? Thousands? And they're not just goblin trash. There are powerful people in the worm's thrall. Whoever's waiting for us at Moonrise Towers controls it all. But if we can take that control from them, imagine the power we'd wield.
And how would we do that exactly?
I mean, I assume there's some device controlling these things, so we find that. Murder some people and, Look, I'm not a details person, all right? But turning up and causing chaos has worked for us so far. I'm just saying, there's an opportunity here. If we can control the tadpoles, we can keep ourselves safe. And liberate the world from this evil.
I'll consider what you're saying.
Do. It's not often the universe hands you something like this. We'd be fools to squander it. Of course, this all assumes we live long enough to find this, moonrise. But I'm feeling optimistic.
I was hoping you'd come to chat. What do you need?
What do you think of this Kithric form?
Difficult to say. A fellow servant of the Night Singer would surely be an ally to me under most circumstances. But something doesn't add up. I'll need to see where his allegiances truly lie.
The more bullshit she pours, the more of it I'm forced to swallow. Mizora set me on fiends inside and outside the Hells. She's never ordered a rescue. Gods. She makes a mockery of everything the Blade stands for. Such an asshole.
Well, it's not like you have a choice, is it? Do the mission or rot in the Hells?
Not just rot. I'd have to fight. One of those mindless blobs clawing at demons on the front lines of the Blood War.
It's not going to happen though, Wyll, is it?
And it means everything to me. I always knew what my future held, and I know I chose right. Thank you for sticking your neck out for me. I mean it. But I'm not going to celebrate till I'm actually free. I can feel Mizora scheming, plotting. She won't let me go without making a fuss. Trust me on that.
Well, let's head to bed.
The voice of the Absolute is strong here.
That's an interesting outfit.
And getting stronger. I don't know how much longer I can resist it. But it's good to see you're making progress. You took an unexpected route here. You did a brave thing. Saving those people in the grove.
I've only ever had female guardians. I did not expect the male guardian to have something so skimpy. Well, it wasn't even a choice. They needed my help.
Not everyone would have helped. It just doesn't stop. We are being bombarded by waves of telepathic energy. Wave after wave with hardly a breath between them. I almost dare not rest. Each wave a set of orders to the infected. The order for your transformation has been given many times already.
My transformation?
Yes. But the orders are oddly erratic, as if the Absolute cannot make up its mind. I don't fully understand. In any case, the Absolute knows you carry me with you now. It wants to retrieve me.
Why does the Absolute want you?
I am the only one who can resist the Absolute's influence. Hence its fear of me. Its desperation. Unfortunately, that also means it is dedicating more and more resources to my retrieval. The task ahead is monumental. But we're all that stands between victory for the Absolute and freedom for all. This is not just about you and I anymore. It has become far bigger than us. You must infiltrate Moonrise Towers, discover the secrets of the Absolute, and put an end to it. So we can finally be free. Now I must rest. And you must carry on. Do not let my efforts be in vain.
Do what I can, skimpy man. It was actually quite a shock seeing him wear that outfit. Alright, after that interesting interaction with the Dream Visitor and a bunch of running around Last Light Inn and talking to a bunch of people that we have either seen before or new faces, I'll bring this episode to a close. It's definitely some very interesting quests that just opened up, and obviously since we're just starting Act 2, there's a lot more to come in this zone, so hopefully you guys all enjoy it. I do love the battle music and fighting in Act 2, probably more than Act 1 and 3, so overall, I think Act 2 is probably my favourite for the combat and the battle music, so hopefully it'll be fun to watch. Next episode, we will head out back into the Shadow Curse, hopefully find a way to penetrate it and not get Shadow Cursed without having to utilise our own light. And from there, make our way to Moonrise Towers, see what secrets the Absolute's cult might be hiding down there. Thanks for joining me in this episode. I hope you all have a great night or day depending on when you're watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.